Australia has a history of shark attack headlines. Now questions are being raised by the experts on the efficiency of these shark nets in protecting swimmers. We speak to SURFWATCH Australia's Aerial Patrol Officer, Michael Brown.
I mean, the sonar systems, they've been in use around the world now for the last couple of years. Over in New York, they're using the system to, as a terrorist type system, but a few modifications on the basic system that they're using now, and it could be well adapted to detecting dolphins, sharks, etc. on our beaches. I believe that it probably is the most effective system looking towards the future. But at the end of the day, we need to get money for research, and we need to get the government to take the whole thing more seriously.
So Michael, how effective are these shark nets?
Well, I'd say they're completely ineffective. I mean, it's a proven fact that most of the large sharks are actually caught on the inside of the nets. So that means they've already been to the beach and on the way back out when they're caught. So I'd have to say not too effective at all.
Okay, and what effect do they have on other wildlife?
Well, each year on the northern beaches alone, we're killing probably 4 or 5 dolphins, seals, sea turtles, and a whole range of eagle rays and other marine life. So it's really quite barbaric, not to mention the impact on the grey nurse sharks.
So obviously you think there should be an alternative. What have you got in mind?
Well, there are actually a couple. There's an invention that was invented over in South Africa several years ago, which involves electronic pulses which could actually protect the entire length of the beach, and certainly research needs to be put into that. At the moment, if you take a beach like Manly, for example, the shark nets cover around about 2%. So you've got 95% of the beach that's completely unprotected. These other systems would cover 100% of the beach, and as I say, have minimal impact on other marine life.
You obviously think that there should be an alternative to the nets. Have you got anything in mind?
There are actually a couple of alternatives that are currently being looked at. There's the sonar-based systems, which will detect sharks within a 1 kilometre range, giving lifesavers plenty of opportunity to go out and inspect the threat. There are also some electronic pulse devices which should be tested at the moment. Both systems have a lot of promise for the future.
And how ready are these sorts of devices?
A lot of the systems are already in use around the world in various applications. I think the government needs to, really needs to come in and put a lot more time, money and research into looking at alternatives, because the current system just cannot continue.
Although shark shields are valuable, they are not cost effective according to the government. Shark nets are successful, having had only 1 fatality at a netted beach since they were introduced. They are not a permanent structure, but are there to break up the territorial patterns of sharks. In the meantime, councils may put up signs to warn of dangerous shark conditions. So Neil, how do these devices work?
They work, one of the primary ways that sharks detect their prey, particularly at close range, is through electrical impulses, and as living creatures we all have electrical currents running through us, whether it be mammals or fish. And what a shark generally does, it's got very good sense of smell. It can smell blood in the water from a large or long distance away. It also uses these electrical impulses, and it has very good sight. What it tends to do is, as it's getting closer to its prey, it shuts down on its eyesight, actually closes its eyes to protect its eye, and it uses the electrical impulses to actually come in close and eat its prey.
And what's the possibility then of creating something that will do the same job but will replace shark nets?
Well, the originators of shark shield technology are the Natal Shark Board, and they are currently working on that. They're calling it barrier technology. And they have been working on it for over a year now, and we expect with time, and we're talking years, maybe 2 to 3 years, that they will be able to design this barrier technology to replace shark nets.
But I think what they really need to do is to get one of these systems up and running, run it in conjunction with the current netting arrangement, and and record the figures. And once we can get the system to a point where we're absolutely sure that it is picking up all the sharks, that it's as effective, if not more effective than the nets, I think at that stage, I think that we can then go and remove the nets. And everyone will be better off. Swimmers will be better off with far higher level of protection. Marine life, dolphins, turtles, seals, etc. I mean, there's so many more will survive. So, I think it's something that's definitely need to look to the future on.
Sweet, thank you.